cast on, you'll always start with a slip knot on your needle. Your slip knot should be loose enough, should be able to easily glide up and down the needle. And you want to be careful as we cast on to not let your stitches get too tight. They shouldn't feel like they are gripping the needle. We'll be learning the knitted cast on. For the knitted cast on, the needle that has the slip knot on it will be in your left hand. With the right hand needle, you're going to insert the needle into this loop as well, going from the left hand side, crossing through to the back to the right hand side of it. So as you can see, both needles are inside that loop. With whichever hand feels comfortable, you're going to pick up your working yarn. Be careful not to use the tail, because you will run out of yarn very quickly that way. The working yarn is going to wrap around that right hand needle counterclockwise, and we just created a loop on that needle. We're going to pull that loop through this initial one that we inserted the needle into. So we're going to pull it through, and it should stay on the right-handed needle. And that new loop that we just created, we're going to place that onto the left hand needle. So now we've got 2 loops here. Each loop that ends up on this left hand needle is going to be considered 1 stitch. So we now have 2 stitches. We're going to do the same thing again to add another stitch. So in this new one here that we just made, we're going to insert the right hand needle from left to right, crossing to the back. We're going to pick up the working yarn. Hold on, I'm going to get rid of that tail so it's not in my way. I'm going to wrap it around counterclockwise, and I'm going to pull that new loop that I just made through the loop that's on the left hand needle that I put the needle into in the beginning. And that new loop that I pulled through is going to go up and onto the left needle. I'm going to make it a little tighter by pulling on the working yarn just a little bit. Again, you don't want these cast on stitches to be too tight. Again, I'm going to insert the needle into the new stitch. Wrap the working yarn around counterclockwise, pull that new loop through, and place the new loop on the left hand needle. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a few more. Insert the needle, wrap the yarn around. We're going to pull it through and place the new loop on the left hand needle. And with doing this method, you are already halfway to learning the knit stitch. So the knit stitch should come pretty easy to you when we get to that lesson. And the thing to be careful with when you're doing this cast on, or really when you're doing any stitch in knitting, is when you insert this needle, you want to make sure that you're going into the middle of the loop and you're not piercing the yarn itself, splitting the yarn. You want to make sure that you're going through just the loop. Because otherwise you might get stuck. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 2 more. There's 1. And the last one. You see this one I made a little tight. There we go. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches here to work with. And depending on what your project is, your pattern will tell you exactly how many stitches you need to cast on.